Shalom and welcome to Cuppa Torah. My name is Hannah Tamara. I hope everybody had a wonderful and meaningful new year. We are in the middle of Sukkot, one of my favorite holidays. It's where you build temporary huts or booths outside and dwell in them for 8 days. Do as much as you possibly can in them. This is one of my favorite holidays because it comes right off of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, where you fast for 25 hours, you pray for forgiveness, you ask other people for forgiveness, you forgive others, and then like the last shofar blasts and the gates of heaven are closing and you're vibrating like with emotions inside, and all of a sudden you're like, yes, I had this clean slate. Then you go home and you're like, oh, now what? How do I do what I promised that I would do? How do I actually become a better person? And Sukkot goes, hey, I'm right around the corner. I know what to do. I will push you out of your safety zone and your safety box and put you into this vulnerable state. And I love it because a sukkah is very vulnerable. We have a roof that has holes in it. So if it rains or snows, you're going to get snowed on. You're going to get rained on. My sukkah is made from lattice. Other people have fabrics. Or a vinyl, and they can break easily. It's not a place of it's not a place where I don't know what I'm trying to say, but there's no doors either, so people can walk in and out whenever they please. It's a very vulnerable state. It's a very small area. I only have a table and chairs and like a little beanbag, and that's all I can fit in my sukkah. Some people have big sukkahs, but again, they can't fit a lot of stuff in them. Like everything in your house cannot fit in your sukkah. And it reminds us that everything is temporary, that we don't need a lot to survive, and we don't need a lot to live, and we don't need a lot to be happy. And it's amazing because we get attached so easily to things. I get attached to emotions, and I like to dwell in that emotion for longer than I should. And there is something way better that's coming up next, but I can't see that because I am just sitting in this emotional state. And what Sukkot does is it reminds us that everything is temporary in our lives. And that feeling that I'm feeling right now will subside, and I will get over it, and there will be better days coming up. And I just have to think of the better days and not the sad or the angry days. I have to see that as an emotion, learn from that lesson that I went through or that I'm going through, and move on, and just to know that there's something better. It's great because after Sukkot, I go back inside my house and I realize that, yes, I keep things. I'm not a hoarder, but I look at what I have and what I thought I needed, and I realize that I really don't need that stuff, and I don't to survive. I don't need that to be happy because I just spent 8 days on a beanbag chair, on these little like rocker chairs, and I was happy. I ate great food. I had great enjoyment with friends. I met new people, and I learned so much stuff about them. So it's not about what you have, it's about what you make of the situation and how you make it. And nothing is permanent in your life except for you. You are permanent in your life, and you can change the way you see things. You can change the way you feel things. You can have that. You have that power to change, and it all starts with you. And just to realize that everything is temporary, and detach yourselves from it. Detach yourself from that emotion. Detach yourself from work. It's really easy to bring work home with you because you're always on your phone and your boss texts you or you get that email. Detach yourself from it and you will feel a whole lot better. Sukkot lasts until Sunday this year, so we have a couple more days left of the holiday. And what I want us to do is sit in our sukkah and just think of all the things that we're attached to. And really ask yourselves why you're attached to them. And do I necessarily need to be attached to that certain thing? Do I need to be attached to that emotion? Do I need to be attached to that want? Do I need to be attached to that object? And let it go. Let that stuff go so that you can start on that clean slate, so that you can look back and say, I did what I promised myself during Yom Kippur. I actually did that. I actually started new and started fresh and realized that I can be a better person because I realized that everything is temporary and I don't need to attach myself to anything. So on that note, I will say Shana Tova, Happy New Year, and Shalom.